to say we would like to have a youth song contest with an award ceremony at COP21 connected to debates, mobilizations, and feedback from social activities is one thing. How to make it happen is, of course, a matter of commitment, imagination, creativity. It's also a matter of lining up institutional mechanisms, of which there are many, and they're quite complex. So perhaps one of the main things that we as a UN agency can help contribute to is putting in place a coherent institutional approach. And this institutional approach has several distinct dimensions. First, I have to mobilize UNESCO, and UNESCO has its own mechanisms and rules. That's my job. It's not always easy because there is a constant flood of ideas, and to get noticed among the flood of ideas requires specific internal action. That doesn't need any discussion. In addition, we have to connect to one another two distinct processes about COP21. First of all, COP21 is the Conference of the Parties to the UN Convention, Framework Convention on Climate Change. In that sense, COP21 is run by the Secretariat of the Convention. The host country is simply the host. This is true even in a very literal legal sense. I don't know if you know this, it's quite interesting. The conference venue is, for the duration of the conference, extraterritorial. It is UN territory. It is actually policed by UN security personnel, not by the French police. It's quite interesting when you think about it. If anything goes wrong, it will be fascinating to examine the jurisdictional, legal, and other implications. So to make things happen, even if they're not physically on the conference site, we need to work with the Secretariat of the Convention, which is the UN body charged with making COP21 happen. So as Miro indicated, we've been doing this for some time already, and I myself have had two working meetings, one in Lima back in December, one in France a few weeks ago, with one of the people who works in the Communication and Outreach Unit, responsible for Article 6 of the Convention, which deals with education, public awareness, participation, and other related issues, to ensure that they know about what we're doing, like the idea in general, and will provide relevant institutional support. This, in principle, is already a deal. We have reached the point where we can say, and I had a telephone discussion yesterday to check what I was authorized to say this morning, we can reach the point where we can say that the Secretariat supports this idea, will allow it to use the relevant label, logo, and so on relating to COP21 from the perspective of the Convention Secretariat, and will be happy to cooperate operationally, particularly if we want to do something connected to our main event, 5th of December, on the 3rd of December, which will be Youth and Future Generations Day, at the conference venue. And furthermore, they will be happy to discuss how they might associate themselves more formally with the events on the 5th of December once we have a detailed plan. So this is very promising and allows us to say that we are working within the official framework of COP21 as a UN mechanism. At the same time, COP21 is a French event. Or more precisely, la Conférence Paris Climat 2015 is a major French event, of which COP21 in the UN sense is just one component. And in order to do what we want to do, we also have to connect to the French processes. And of course, we have been discussing with the French COP21 Secretariat, which has different functions and responsibilities than the UN COP21 Secretariat, though they collaborate closely, in order to ensure that we are known, recognized, and in due course supported. The point we're at for the moment is that we are known. And one of the reasons why I'm so grateful to have the participation both of the Departmental Council and of the National Commission is that this is part of the necessary process of building relations with the French institutions responsible for COP21, so as to ensure that what we're doing is not just UN. It has to be UN, it has to be French. So this is a rather complex institutional process, but basically it's my job to deal with it. And Miro's own UN connections are very strong, so we can synergize very well in this area. So, UN COP21 Secretariat already on board, discussions ongoing with French COP21 Secretariat and with other French institutions. The objective being, and here let me say a word about timeframes, to be in a position to make a major public announcement of what we're discussing here in the first week of June in Bonn, taking the opportunity of the UNFCCC negotiating session, which includes, by happy coincidence, a specific dialogue on Article 6, which the Secretariat is happy to give us space in to showcase our plans. But that means we have to have the plans in place by then. And the plans aren't just the general idea of doing something, they're the idea, plus the coalition of the willing, plus the practical modalities, and some serious assurances about the feasibility of what we're proposing. So today is the 24th of April. The relevant events in Bonn are likely to take place on the 4th or the 5th of June. That's very tight, but that's what we have to do. And therefore I would make a call for the rest of our discussion to be really a very practical discussion on who wants to be involved and how we can arrange things in such a way that by the 4th or 5th of June, we will be in a position to announce to the world that this will happen, and to tell the world how they can participate, how it can participate, by producing music videos, of course, that will be the core, but also in other ways to be defined.
Excellent.